Hi, this is Ansu Sesay with Real Game, brought to you by Basketball Psychology, the show that brings basketball and other sports to you in a way that you can easily understand. I'm here with CG and Mike, and today we have our third episode of our series on good qualities of a student athlete, and today we're talking about eating habits. Let's get it, fellas.
Man, we can jump right into it. As an athlete, it's no question that your diet is important because what you put into your body is what you're going to get out. So it's important. I think the biggest thing is to make sure that you are eating regularly, because the food that you eat is the energy that you're going to get to perform in your specific sport. And so things like fruit, vegetables, definitely is just important for you, especially to be at your best. Hydration also, I think, is something that gets overlooked. I can attest to that many of the times, just being dehydrated, not having enough energy to get through stuff. You got to fall in love with drinking water for real. I know most people don't even like water just because it don't got no taste, but water is super important.
Definitely. From my perspective, I honestly believe that you have to make a real effort in terms of having good eating habits. And me personally, I wasn't very educated within that certain area. So reaching out to different people is definitely a good way to start if you don't know what to do. There's plenty of trainers and people who study that field that you can look towards to help you understand what you need to put into your body. Like CG already explained, being dehydrated on the court is probably the worst thing that you can do, and not eating and having no energy is bad. It affects your performance. And yes, you have plenty of games throughout the season, but you only have that game at that time. So that's the only chance you have at that game. So you don't want to limit yourself to being able to perform to your highest ability at practice and or at the game. So
Yeah, I'm just going to reiterate a little bit what you guys talked about. Just your eating habits. You got to stay away from junk food. Like the junk food, you got to keep it to a minimum being a college athlete, because like Chris said and like Micah said, it's what you eat is fuel to your body. So if you're eating junk food all the time and that's your fuel, you're gonna be sluggish a lot. It's gonna be hard for you to get up sometimes. And when you do get to working out, it's gonna be harder for you to warm up. Like some of the things that you don't think about, just going about a normal day as an athlete. Your eating habits really are important in that. One thing that I did in college, I had to really take my eating habits seriously because of my body type. I put on muscle fast, but I also have a lot of water weight, so I lose weight quick. So making sure that I ate the right things was very important, and I had to talk to our strength and conditioning coach constantly just to make sure that I was putting the right fuel in my body and just going about things the right way, because as we all know, if you don't feel your body right, then your performance level can go from here and to down here, and it plummets.
I like how both of y'all mentioned just reaching out and asking other people for either advice or suggestions, because a lot of the times I feel like as a college athlete or a student athlete, you may not know what you necessarily need to be eating. And I think it's a myth that eating healthy is expensive because it's a lot of cheap and easy meals that you can make for yourself that don't require much like money and don't require much effort as far as cooking it and the preparation for it. And a lot of that stuff can last you for several days. And I think I like how y'all mentioned that.
And since it's just like a soft, you got to like a soft version of meal prepping. That's like the best thing to do.
I agree.
Definitely. I think this is a subject that I kind of struggled in a lot, to be honest. How you mentioned that a lot of people actually say that it's kind of expensive to afford some of the healthier choices, but until I actually was able to reach out to somebody else and realizing that like there's other stuff that you can do that's a little bit cheaper than the healthier choices that's on the restaurant menus. There's some other stuff that you can do. Then I was steady eating junk food and different stuff within that range. So reaching out that's my main advice in terms of being able to get to your best performance in terms of eating well. So
That was some great information that we shared. And speaking on eating habits, man, we got some sounding off from the higher ups on that NBA level. I know CG has more to say about it, so I'm gonna let you talk more about it, bro.
Why you want me to talk about it?
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
I know everybody was seeing it. It was in the media. Karl Anthony Towns, who was asked about Anthony Edwards and how he could help him just perform better. I believe it was on back-to-backs, like how he could help him bounce back and recover. And Kat had mentioned something about how Anthony Edwards eats Popeyes and just fried foods in general. And I mean, those things in moderation, like they're not bad, but you can't consistently eat those type of foods and expect for your body to perform. Because as Sue already mentioned, those fried foods, they slow you down, they make you sluggish. They actually also they don't help with inflammation in your body. So when
It makes it worse.
when you have inflammation, especially after just playing, it doesn't help. It doesn't help your body recover for the next day, the next practice, the next game. So trying to stick away from those type of foods as much as possible. I mean, like it's your body. Your body is a temple, as everybody's heard that expression. So what you put into it is what you're gonna get out.
definitely. And I think one other thing to kind of think about is this. We know this isn't an easy test. Like we can all attest to that. And it's more of a long-term effect that it has on your body. It's easier when you're younger to go out and eat junk food, and it does taste pretty well. We can all say that much. But if the best players in the world have to basically have diets, most of them have their own actual chefs to kind of take care of their body. It's like, okay, obviously they understand something to a higher level. So why wouldn't you try to, at your level, put in the right stuff in your body too? It's like, obviously they understand something. Just a small point to make.
Yeah, I think it comes down to that discipline. Like it's okay to enjoy those things, but
Yeah.
you got to be disciplined enough to not overwhelm yourself and overconsume those type of
At least have a balance.
You gotta mimic success, man. Mimic success.
Yeah. If there's a blueprint, why not use it? Why not follow it?
I done fell into that same trap. I remember it was an AAU. I believe it was like spring break, and we was having 2-a-day AAU practices, and a couple of my teammates and I, we went out to eat in between practices, and some people was drinking water, and some people was drinking lemonade. And I remember the people that was drinking lemonade, after we came back for the second practice, we was all cramping up, and it was just bad. It was bad business. We definitely should have drank the water. So just little stuff like that you got to be conscious of in order to be at your best when it's time to perform. But yeah, that about wraps it up for this episode. We appreciate y'all for listening, for tuning in, watching, as we continue to drop some gems for y'all on what it takes to be a successful student athlete. As always, podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio. We got all the streaming services for y'all, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Continue to spread the word. Tell your homeboys, your homegirls. Continue to tell everybody about basketball psychology. I got Sue with me. Got Mike with me. CG, we signing out, man. Appreciate y'all. We'll talk to y'all next week.
Peace.